Clearly, we got our sports mixed up here. We're supposed to be herding sheep. Dory's not supposed to be the cue ball in a game of pool and scattering everything all over. Well, at least now things are a little bit more under control, even though we're having to traipse through the snow. Right there, can you see it? That foolish lamb at the very back thinking, oh no, I'm just going to hold back here and not move. Dory Time's like, don't make me come over there, lamb. At this point, we're all thinking, gosh, it feels like we're moving in circles. Again, here it is with those errant two lambs. They don't want to go with the rest of them. They think they're going to dawdle and just hang out. They don't want to go through the deep snow. So Dory Time has to kick it into high gear and put some pressure on them. Maybe a little bit too much pressure, because then the snow is too deep for Dory to walk through. So then she ended up having to lope through it to get through it, and she pushed all the sheep away. Thankfully, she brought them all back and we could start again. Now, with my infinite wisdom, I decide we're going to do gate work. That's her favorite thing. She's really good at it. She's awesome at penning sheep. We got this. I position Dory between me and the sheep so that they can't storm the gate, and I proceed to open the gate, and that's all going well. Then I give Dory Time the A-OK, go get 'em, and so that she can bring him in. Well, look at that gather. Isn't it beautiful? Everybody's running to the gate. I'm so happy. I'm thinking this is going fantastic. Fantastic until like 5 of the sheep go gliding past the gate and go running down the fence line. I'm thinking, that's weird. Usually Dory has no problem putting sheep in a pen. Now I look behind me and I see why the sheep don't want to go in the pen. It's because the sheep that went in first stopped going in at about 4 feet into the pen because there was a snowdrift in there and they didn't want to go any further. Now I need to get Dory to come up there and put a little bit more pressure on so that these sheep will go in. And she's like, what? I did my job. Here she is assessing the situation to see what I've done wrong. Dory takes the flank. She pushes them where she needs to push them. And I'm thinking, this is wonderful. Those sheep are going to go through that gate and I'll be able to close it. Story done. The sheep inside wouldn't move. So again, these sheep end up on the outside running down the fence line. Now we need to regroup. The sheep are in front of the gate, but nobody's giving. They're all just standing there. The ones that are inside are saying, I'm not going any further in. And the ones that are standing in the gate are saying, listen, get in there. And Dory Time is staying far enough back because she doesn't want to put too much pressure on them. They're theoretically in the right position. Dory Time and I have to have a meeting. I have to explain to her that she needs to come closer in order to put more pressure on those sheep to force them to go through that gate. Oh, happy day. They went in the pen. She put enough pressure on. I was so happy. She was so happy. Then I went to close the gate. Nope, no way, no how. The sheep were still in the way. They were in the pen, but they were blocking the gate, and they weren't moving. Story time's like, seriously, do I have to do everything? Do I even have to close the gate for you? And I'm like, Dory, I'm sorry, but I can't get the gate closed. You're just going to have to take a little bit more pressure. So then she goes over to the right side and she stomps a bit. And she makes a little bit of movement, and then she comes back over in front. And there's this ewe standing there stomping at her, and everybody else is looking at her and staring at her, putting pressure on her. And then she's like, that's it. You move it. And they turned their heads, gave me the inch, and I closed the gate.